Hey, this that Eastside Johnny Big Redemption like. Know what I'm talking about? Hold up.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah.
Yeah.
Get out the way, get out my way, yeah.
Yeah.
You either with me or against me, though. You either with me or win. Win, 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 win.
Yeah.
Curve everything else. Win, 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 win.
Win.
These ops ain't. Win, 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 win. Start chasing that. Win, 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 win.
Yeah.
Big J Rock go. On 10, 10, 10, 10. Exit at 4. Bring friends. That black two dough. Jump in. You might want to keep score. I win. Forearm tattoos. That's squad. All of them go. Don't try. I walk in room. They eyes wide. Third album come soon. I'm glad y'all gon' die. I ain't chasing after no. I got bigger plans than staying rich. I been tapped in since I was 6. I tap dance all on them. And your diamonds like tap water. That drip way too foggy. These VVS is way awesome. Park CLS for drop to your death without warning. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah.
Yeah.
Get out the way, get out my way, yeah.
Yeah.
You either with me or against me, though. You either with me or win. Win.
Yeah.
Curve everything else. Win. These ops ain't. Win. Start chasing that. Win.
Yeah.
You clowns really don't stay outside when I play outside. I put the beats on them like Dre outside. I got the bow side and LA outside. And if you act bad, I bring the outside. Go and get your money. None of my know some funny. I can tell real by who you're running with. I'm all in the field. Duck hunt. Hit my just the. And he was like, boop. Here. Knew just what it was. The whole and gave it back, boop. Yeah. 9/11, no mileage, baby. But no violence, baby. My got callous, baby. My bare knuckles got talent, baby. I'm all in the wind with it. On Deuce line, I've been with it. She too fine, I've been crashed 2 times. I limo tinted my new ride. I'm riding with the 12 better not pull me over. Championship going dumb. Nothing to something I won. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah.
Yeah.
Get out the way, get out my way, yeah.
Yeah.
You either with me or against me, though. You either with me or win. Everything else, win. These ops ain't. Win. Start chasing that. Win.
Yeah.
Victory, all on my neck. Victory. Zombie gang rapping that NYC. Victory. Ice on my neck like a little weak. We run like a paraclete. It's my earth, but it's where I be.
Money over on my head stop. Here lies them getting paid, but never take a loss on my head stop. Only take a when I'm dead. Zombie gang 3 times on my head stop. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on a head stop. Too late, you already there. Imagine when you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream. Cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda set the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to. It's talking, it's hustling me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now. No reason to look out, it's clear to see. All eyes on me for 100 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it. In public, hated to love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling it.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Oakland Raiders. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. First carry for Ronald Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. It's brought in by Dodson. And a gain there of 11 yards.
And a key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3 and out. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Second down, it's Jones. Pushing through the contact. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. The give is to Jones. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, He looked like one of those guys.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. A give to Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real. And a pretty nice opening statement.
Now, Barney! Gone!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. A dump off to Elliott. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
Watch him now, Barney!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Bryant has it. And he's got room. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Right back to him on first down. And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll look to throw. This is caught. 23 yards on the play.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play.
And Brown's got it for an Oakland touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Cat and 0 out now as he'll kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak that the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
The tackle made there by Jarrad Davis.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Jones. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9. Clock running, the Bucs try to go quickly and get set. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll look to throw here. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. Now Jones. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have...
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Lutz now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Buying time to his left. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Back to throw here. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Detroit! Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. Deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
A great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They're going to look to throw. And they can't bring him down. Open man has got one. It's complete. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rolling to his right. That's going to be caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Josh Doxson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And the offense does cover this one, but back inside their own 5-yard line.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he won't get in, but you can't be set up any better than that. They'll have the ball at the 1-yard line. From their own 2, Charles, they opted to throw it instead of run it. We saw the outcome.
I think what a lot of teams count on is defenses to stack the line of scrimmage, trying to force a safety or force a turnover there. But if you've got a good defensive front, you just allow them to play the run and everyone else stays ready. And they were, and they picked that one off.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And some room to maneuver. And a terrific return up to midfield. Now the question, will it stand? There is a marker down. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? No legal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. And this one is incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Now Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal here. From the right hash, this from 48. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will close the gap down to 14. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Now after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. This will be taken about the 12. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll set up a throw. Completes it right side to Jackson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 7. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. 7 yards there on the first down screenplay. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Again, it's Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Gone! Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. Got a man out of the backfield. It's Chris Thompson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught at the 10. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. Third down here. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Back to throw. Oh, look at that hurdle, and now some room to run. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth-quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They go to Elliott again. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Drops it underneath to Elliott. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up fourth down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. They go play action here on first down. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, Elliott. And an alley to run. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll look to throw. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Richard on the toss. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Only able to make it to the 15 after the nice move. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Tampa Bay, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Oakland, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos.